Okay, now real quick, just a reminder. Before we get started, we have a worksheet that's due tomorrow. If you haven't already, we have that first little piece of paper. That 0.1 is due tomorrow. It looked like. Let's see if I got an extra copy here. It looked like this. Okay. This is due for those who were here. So, I think Donna, I don't know if you were in that other algebra class. I don't know if you got this one right. You know, that class was twice decided, so you might have already had that one due, you guys. And then let's see, who else? Alexis, I don't know if you even had this one at all. Okay, I'll get it from her. So, all right, let me get rid of this. Perfect. Let me submit attendance and we're good to go. Okay, just a reminder, homework is due tomorrow. Remember, after 1 day late, it's already 15% off, and 2 days late, it's 30. So keep that in mind. You do not want to wait on that homework. Get it done tonight. I will give you a little bit of time in class today if you want to work on it, but that's at the end of the class. So. Okay, all right, so let's explain the activity you have in front of you. You have a lot of pieces of paper there. They're all randomly cut. So here's the idea. There's 4 main categories on those little pieces of paper. You can probably see them when I grab one here. Okay, one of the main categories is division. The other one is addition, subtraction, multiplication. Okay, so what I would like you to do right now, if you can, in your group, find those major categories and put them on the 4 corners of your desks. Because you've got 4 desks pushed together. Each desk should have 1 major category. Okay, so each 4 corners should have 1 major category. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Okay, once you have those big tabs separated, I know there's a couple other big tabs in there, just ignore those because I was trying to cut them out in random sizes so you couldn't predict where they would go. Alright, so we get your 4 main corners. Your goal today, I'll give you 5 or 6 minutes to kind of try to figure this out, is to look at all the words that are on those little tiny pieces of paper. There might even be some bigger chunks in there, and figure out what category does that word fit in. Does it fit into addition? Does it fit into subtraction, multiplication? There's some keywords there that you need to be aware of before we even begin the lesson today. So this is to introduce. So as a group, I want you discussing with each other. Like, okay, this word, I think that's addition. You can have lively conversations. Go for about 5 or 6 minutes. It shouldn't take very long if your group is working together and kind of diligent. So again, you're looking at these little pieces of paper and try to figure out which category fits in. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Got it? 5 minutes, go. I'll put a timer on the board.
Sam, I actually thought you were just working.
It's not even close.
Then you were like,
Well, I couldn't get it.
You know,
Part of
that's
multiplication. Or just total that's
I mean, no, additional multiplication.
What's part of the multiplication?
Yeah, I couldn't get it down. I couldn't. I had all these students there. Algebra.
So you just ratio.
Well, the algebra last year, I got every single quarter.
Start, you're good.
I think the best thing I ever had there was seal. Give me a test. Then it was back down to a D.
Okay, you got about 4 minutes left here. I'll give you a 5. I don't know if we'll need more than 5, but again, if you're right around, I just want to get a sense. Can we organize those and get them into whatever category they need to fit in?
And then it's gonna come back and just.
So again, some of them, you might actually think it could fit in the category or 2. Some are really straightforward. So try to separate them, try to get them all into their group. So remember, use your 4 corners of your desk. So
Yes, sir.
Dude, the four corners of your desk.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you see it?
They're separate.
We're in
It
corner.
was funny. Yeah. Did you see it?
Mine is right there.
Wait, what do you mean?
Someone hit a car. Like the car's backing up another car.
About 3 minutes left here.
Schmucked him.
Do you see his stats? It's just like it's like a spider. Oh, dude, no.
Good job.
You're so good.
I know it will, but it'll break.
Is that why your plastic's getting light? Good job. Good job. You're super brave.
It's not good. Dark, have you broken in chair before?
Yeah.
The right one?
I don't know about any
Okay. Does any group need more time? It looks like we've got them all separated. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Now this is gonna be a little weird. Okay, you're gonna just leave your stuff at your desk. We're gonna rotate around the room. We're gonna only do this like maybe once or twice. Okay, now what you're gonna do? Your whole group, you're gonna go. We're gonna go clockwise. So you guys are gonna work this way around the room. So you guys go here, there. You guys go there. You guys go there. Okay, here's what I want you to do. When you move to the new spot, don't touch any of the papers that are at their desk. Now, if you want to organize them so you can read them a little bit better, but don't like move them to other spots. All I want you to do is read through their list and see what they've put in their certain categories. Just keep that in mind. Then I'll give you about a minute to kind of look them over. Then you're going to move to the next group. We're going to do this really quick. You're going to do this maybe 2 or 3 times. Just get a sense for their list. Then we're going back to your pod, and you're going to see if you need to make any major fixes. Because after you see 2 or 3 groups, you'll probably go, okay, they have all had the same word in the same category except for us. We probably should move it. That type of thing. Okay, got it? Okay, move. Don't touch the stuff at the desk. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Where do we go? Yeah, so you guys can move there. Okay, and again, if you want to like organize the piece of paper so you can read them a little bit better, because some of them are kind of like in just a big brick, that's fine. But remember, the goal is not to rearrange them. It's just to look at their list and see if you had yours in the same category.
Ryan, I love your shirt.
I'm going to give you less than a minute. Look them over. See if there's any major things that you've maybe disturbed. Now, don't get me wrong. Your group might have been right. So the one you're moving to might be wrong. So get a sense. See if you have any, because maybe there's one you were questioning.
I'm
15 seconds, we're going to move again. Okay, hop up, move again. Clockwise again. Got 1 minute to sit there, look over their words. Again, you can kind of move the piece of paper if you need to read anything a little bit better, but don't move their categories. Get a sense for what they've done, how it compares to yours, maybe the last group, because maybe you're still questioning a certain word. Okay, 15 seconds here. We're going to go to one more group.
Those are amazing thoughts.
All right, move. You get one more spot to move. I know you're not back to your original desk, but move one more time. Check over the list. Again, do not move their piece of paper. You can read them. Get a sense for maybe if you are questioning the word still. Again, they may not be right or wrong. This is to get a sense for maybe you did something. Or you need to move a word if you're questioning something.
Yeah, don't crash that video.
What are you doing?
Right now I got one.
Okay.
Going very well. That was good.
Do we need any more time studying these words? I think by the 3rd time you probably have this down. Okay, go back to your groups real quick.
68.
Your original tables. Okay, now, this is the time if you need to make fixes, or maybe you know you did something majorly wrong. I'm gonna give you less than 30 seconds. Make your fixes right now. Let's see how well you can do. If you don't need to make any fixes and you're confident, leave them.
We're pretty confident.
Because some groups maybe had different options than you did. Not saying that they're right or wrong, it's just, I want to see where you're at.
You should probably be over here.
What class were you in?
Oh, what, a third? Whose class? Oh, over there? Because this one only has 4 and the rest are 5. That's not what
Only like algebra.
You guys have a
She
JP.
only does algebra 1A.
So you're up to 5. Right, well, maybe I fixed it.
Most of the time,
All the freshmen are AJV, except for like 4.
I put this on here.
Emma, Becca, Matt, they're on JV. One varsity,
We
one
do it, I don't want to be around.
I know.
Emma, Becca, Maddie, and Emily.
I put 68 up here.
Maddie, Derek, Madison.
She's not.
He can't. He can't. That crap.
No, what?
I'm surprised we don't have a big JP.
He does.
Alright, so, here's my question. Who's a really good typist in here? Who's really good at typing? Boom. So like
He's just not a good type.
Oh, you're doing it now. You volunteered, buddy.
Oh,
Got
I
deep in
can
now.
do it if you want. Oh, let
Alright.
Ryan do it.
Okay, so, okay, it should be appearing up there. Okay, here's what I want. Okay, nothing inappropriate, you're on camera. So, alright, okay, alright. So, here's the idea. Let's talk about the categories and the words for addition and subtraction and that you have. Let's start with addition first, that's why I put it up here. Okay? Is there one volunteer or group that is confident in one of their answers for sure? Dart, rattle, what do you got?
Plus.
Plus, does, type it. Okay, plus is the keyword, almost everybody uses it. It's a keyword for addition, I agree. Hit enter a couple, hit there, stop there. Another one, what do you got?
Added to.
Added to, boom, easiest thing in the world, added to. Okay, give me another one.
Some of.
Sum of, I agree with that. That's the one that most people get wrong. I agree, that's good. Next one, increase by. Okay, those are the key ones. Is there any others that we know of for sure that you are more than confident about?
Added to.
Added to, okay, I think we already had it, but it's good.
And just regular.
Was more than an additional.
More than, there's another one. I was kind of giving you a hit in the last one. More than is another one. So go down to the bottom, there, Tusha, type in more than.
Would
Okay,
total of?
total of,
What a good
there's
point.
another one.
Attaboy, Dart.
Total of. Okay, is there any others that we are maybe not confident about? Yeah, now, is this almost everything that you have in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, alright,
Didn't know if looking for his blazer.
move that off this side, put it off this side. Yep. Okay,
Maybe.
Turn.
alright. Do we feel confident in the list? Is there anything else that you guys were questioning? Because I had one group already found one that they know for sure, they're like, we don't even know it, so I just told them, move it off to the side. You're fine, you're good. Okay, anything else we want to add? Okay, Tusha, if you can, hit enter maybe twice. Okay, okay. Hit twice, so are you typing now?
Yep.
Okay, hit twice for enter. I don't know, there it is. Okay, type in subtraction now. And if you want to scroll down the list, subtract, okay. Okay, good. Scroll down the list, do a 2-finger scroll. There you go. You're on it. All right. Put a little colon after it, hit enter. Okay, all right. The list for subtraction. Let's see, who's a group that's confident in one of theirs? Okay, give me one.
Minus.
Minus, the number one word that a lot of people use. I know in science class, they really despise the word minus. What? What's another one? Dart, you got one?
Subtracted from?
Subtracted from. Now, when you type subtracted from, I want you to put, so you put a star behind that one. Put like a little asterisk star behind it. I don't know, yeah, there you go. There's a rhyme or reason why I have a star behind that one. That one's a special case. You are right, it does, subtraction, literally says subtraction. There's something special about it, you may know. Less than, I like it. Put a star behind less than as well. That's one of the other special cases. Okay? Everything else is pretty much normal. Tusha, you got your hand up? Okay. What else we got? We got a few more.
Decreased by?
Decreased by. Okay, decreased by. I think you've got an answer, but you're fine. Okay, we understand what you're doing? Give me another.
And decreased.
Not mine, I'm not gonna do one.
Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Start you going.
Subtracted by?
Subtracted by. Don't put a star behind that one. Just put subtracted by and move on. Okay? Okay, these are all good so far. I think we're missing a few. There was, I think, maybe one or two others, maybe? Maybe? Or maybe not. No, I think that's it. I might have typed my list a little short. I didn't know how many I had. Okay, if you want to hit enter, if you want to keep typing, you're good. If somebody else wants to take over typing, you're doing it good so far. No? No one else wants to type in me? Okay, we'll keep going. You're doing well. Okay, multiplication now.
They spell it right?
Yep, spelled it right. It'll auto-correct it anyways. I rely on that heavily. Okay, multiplication now. Now we get to the tricky ones.
Times.
Times. That's the number one that people always use. What else you got?
Product of.
Product of. Okay, product of is one of those words that most people always forget. Product means to multiply. Hey, Angel, can you go up and hit where you're at multiplication at the top, hit enter so it's below that black bar. Let's put all the multiplications below that black bar.
Go up to multiplication,
Yeah, there you
no?
Boom.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, good. All right, do another one.
Multiplied by.
Multiplied by. Another comma one. Okay, we still got a few more. Dark, what do you got?
Twice and triple?
Twice and triple. I agree with those. Twice is a type of multiplying. Multiplying by 2, triples, multiplying by 3. Now, obviously, I could have put a lot more. I just put those in the list. I think we're missing maybe another one?
Ratio?
Nope, not that one.
It's third.
Third, not third. Now, there is a weird thing about third that I could see it both ways. That we're going to save that one for the last category. I'll explain why.
Twice.
Twice, yeah, if we haven't put that one up there. I think we said it, you just didn't type it yet. There it is.
That John said it.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Okay, we're gonna get back to third and whatnot. 'Cause I understand where you're coming from. I can see it both ways. Okay, do we feel comfortable with the list? Angel, hit twice, enter it, go down. All right, last category, division. Okay, so division should be everything that's left. So if your groups have been paying attention, moving things around, two should give me the first one. Half. Half. When you cut something in half, you're dividing by 2. Now, I could see it as multiplying by half. We'll talk about that at a later date. But half is definitely division to me. Okay, next one,
Divide by.
divided by. Done. Next one, quotient of. There's 2. Divided by and quotient of.
Ratio?
Ratio of. There's another good one. Ratio of, divided by, what was the other one we said earlier? Third. Yeah, we had a third, the one that we said earlier. Is there any others?
The difference of, or is that subtraction?
No, that's subtraction. I think that might have been one that we forgot earlier.
Oh, quotient.
Yeah, quotient of, type that, quotient of. Quotient of, quotient is literally the key word for division. If you ever hear the word quotient, it's the answer for when you divide something. Okay, is there any others from that list? Other than, we forgot difference of, correct? Angel, if you want to scroll back up, go back up to subtraction. Scroll down a little bit. In that list, right below subtracted by, put difference of. I knew we forgot one. There was one that I, so it's going to go right, yeah, right in that list. So it's difference of. Difference of is subtraction. You're finding the difference of 2 numbers. The difference in ages. That technically you're subtracting. Okay. Anything else that we have forgot? Any words you had off to the side you're like, I had no idea about that word. Maybe you still don't. Alright, this list I'm going to send you. I'm going to email this list to you. Thank you for that. If you want to hit save, is there a save button on your screen, maybe in the upper corner or somewhere, maybe? That's a little like file thing.
What do you want us to do?
Or just hit like Control S. Okay, we'll save.
Control what?
Control S.
What do you want us to do with all
There.
this?
Addition, yeah, just hit enter. boom, saved it. All right, I'm gonna email this list to you. The reason why, it's really nice to have this list. Some of you didn't know some of these yet, because you're just not, familiar with some of these terminologies. The reason why we're doing this, the section we're going into, other than, finding factors and whatnot, we are gonna start looking at expressions. Things where you can type out in word form, verbal form, an actual algebraic problem. An algebra problem in like story form. That's what we're trying to get used to. Okay? All right, thank you. I'm going to take that back.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Yeah. Pretty penny on that.
Wait, you bought it, not the store?
No, that's my person. So, all right. So, now, here's the idea. Today, the goal is to get familiar with some expressions, do a couple examples, then maybe in about 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going to give you some time to work on that worksheet that I gave you yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I want to give you some time to actually ask questions. If you don't remember how to do it, we're going to review it one more time. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go through. I'm going to get rid of this. Thank you for typing, by the way, for the 2 gentlemen that were typing and for the groups that were participating. I will walk around. I'm going to collect these little pieces of papers. If you want to just kind of organize them into piles, that'd be great. And I'll come around, I'll pick them up, and I'll put them in my little envelope. Okay, all right. Ooh, okay, so.
I'm not laughing when you break that key off. Where do you live at, Ventura? Where do you live at?
People actually watch your videos?
Yeah, 2,000 a month.
Gee, where?
I get people from like Texas, California watching those things. It's supposed to be YouTube, so I can watch it. So then I just title them whatever section, so a bunch of Algebra kids must be working on them. Yeah,
Wait, you put it on YouTube?
yeah. I post all my videos to YouTube.
You make money off it?
No, I think no revenue. No ads, nothing. So it's just a free account. So it's for school, because it would be actually illegal for me to. Yeah. So, and plus I work at a school, so I can't collect revenue from working at a school and from somewhere else, so, yeah. So, we're really pretty, there's a lot of laws, yeah. Alright, anyway, so here's the idea. What we're trying to go into is something like this.
If you were to quit, you would collect ones.
Yes, if I were to not teach anymore, I can collect revenue.
They make pretty good money off that.
Oh, yeah.
How many subscribers you got?
Not very many, but the number of hits I get, and the number of likes would make up for it. So.
How many views do you get on each video?
2,000 hits a month usually per video, so I can make a couple $100 probably a video. So.
You wish
A lot of
you
videos too.
But all right, here's the idea. This is what we're going into, right? So we're going into 6 increased by a number. This, what you're looking at here, this is an algebraic expression. Let me explain that terminology, right? So if you're taking notes, this would be a good thing to have in there. All right, this will be one of my 2 examples I want to do today. All right, this is an algebraic expression. It's actually called a verbal expression if you want to be more specific. Now, what verbal means, it's written out in word form. A verbal expression. Expressions have no equal signs. It's just something that they want you to write out in an actual algebraic form. So what I mean by that is I want numbers and letters combined with basic operations. So let me write that down. So it's numbers and letters. Numbers and letters, or variables, if you will. Numbers and variables. And what we're doing is we're combining them using basic operations. The operations in math class are the 4 that you just talked about today. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So here's the idea. What do you guys remember about the word increased by?
Add.
To add. So all you're doing is you're going 6 increased by a number. I don't even know what the number is. It's n. If they say a number, they want a variable, some letter of the alphabet, A through Z, preferably not the letter O, because it looks like a 0, not the letter I or L, because it looks like a 1, maybe not an S, because that looks like a 5. So, but maybe not a T, because it looks like a plus sign. So I prefer like using X's, Y's, Z's. An X, I can understand it looks like multiplication, but in this class we use dots for multiplying, not actual X's. So, do we understand the concept of what we're going into? Can you take a verbal statement and come up with the actual algebra that would represent it? Now, we're not solving. You're not solving for n here or x or whatever letter you're picking. You're just trying to interpret what did that thing actually say, right? That's the whole goal. Now, the idea is that's why I had to go through that list. Did we understand what these words are? Because that's the number one thing. Like, some people don't recognize the word quotient of. It's not a part of regular vocabulary. You wouldn't know that it means division or ratio or decreased by or difference of. Like, some people just don't use that terminology in their everyday conversations. I would, because obviously I'm a math teacher, so I'd see them more. But the idea is that I want you to get familiar with them so that if you were to read that sentence, this is kind of what pops in your head. 6 plus a number, right? You have that imagery in your head of what that means. Now, there was 2 on that list that I said we had to change. I think I had Angela, you put stars next to them, right? So the 2 that I wanted to talk about was this. This was one of them. It was subtracted from. The other one we had was less than. They're the only 2 in that whole entire list that when you read this word, you almost have to switch around what you're actually looking at. So what I mean by that, subtracted from obviously means subtraction, but the problem is, the way that I have this sentence written isn't right. Because they want you to take 6 from the number. So if it says from the number, you have to actually switch the number and 6 around. Because think about that. If I said take take 6 subtracted from your age. 6 subtracted from your age. You take your age, you subtract 6. You automatically switched it around in your head. You have to write it down that same way. I know it said number in the back, but that actually has to go out front. The 2 that I starred are the ones that have to do that. So a number, and you're subtracting 6. That's the idea. All right, questions at all about what we're going into?
Nope.
Thought it was kind of a nice, easy introduction into it.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not going into it too in depth today. There's more vocab words we're going to look at tomorrow. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Today, the goal is for the next 10 minutes, I want you to get some time where you can work on that little handout that I gave you yesterday. That 0.1, where you're doing factors, where you can do the prime factor tree, where you try to break them down. This is due tomorrow, completed. So that's why I want you to do 10 minutes. You can ask me how to do it. If you didn't remember, I can put an example on the board. We can go through it.
I thought you were
I think I was waiting. Okay, is that 0.1 on the top?
No.
Sorry.
I'll try it.
All right. Okay, the rest of the time is yours. You can work, you can stay in your little pod, you can move around if you want to go talk to somebody else. Sorry. Let's keep those little pieces of paper on your desk. I'm going to walk around with a little envelope. I'll collect them here in a second. Make a move, you can sit. If you need a worksheet or handout again, maybe you lost it already, I can give you another. Yes. Let me give you the pass.
Can I turn it?
Yeah.
Wait, can we turn it in? Can we turn it in?
Yeah, so you're done. Please turn it.
AJ, grab mine too.
You should worry ahead.
No, I don't have to take it because I already took it behind the question management class. No.
He probably knows enough where he can kind of carry out
You
enough
know
sections.
all of the things?
Okay, turn off one of those.
Awesome.
Actually, get another one.
Good job, Angel. I'm the biggest fan about it.
Can I get another one?
I got to print out 3 of them.
This is why I'm in this.
I know that person, I know Taylor? I know her, that's her, that's another Taylor.
Start.